What's up guys, welcome back to Dowsett Reviews Tech. Today I'm doing another video based around storage and this time again sort of external storage. Obviously last time I've done like NAS videos and stuff like that. So today I'm going to look at the Acasis or Acasis, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, Acasis I'm going to call it. And this is their 4 bay SATA SSD external enclosure, and this is the EC-7254 if you want to know the model number. So today we're going to unbox it, show you what it looks like, show you everything it can do, and then we're going to bang some drives in it. The drives I'm going to use are the Integral V series SSDs. I've got 2 times 2 terabytes. Yes, this can take 4, but I only have 2 of these, and the other drives are smaller. So basically I just want to get maximum sort of capacity out of those. So we're going to get those installed in there. Massive thank you to Integral for sending those over for this video, and to Acasis for sending this over for review. So we're going to get those in there. We're going to put them in RAID 0, I think, which is obviously maximum capacity, maximum performance. And then we're going to test them and see. Basically, we're going to do a crystal disk test to see how well they perform. This is up to 5 gigabits per second, so we'll see how they perform. Hopefully they get up to that speed. They're going to obviously be SATA speeds, so I think these drives max out around 550 on consecutive reads. So we'll test those in crystal disk, and then we'll run a quick 3D time spy benchmark, and we'll compare that to the local benchmark, and see basically if you lose any performance by running from this. So it gives you sort of an idea of if you want to store your games on something like this, so that you can obviously move it between PCs if you have multiple PCs, or if you want to take it around friends' houses and everything like that. So let's get into the unboxing of this video. I'll show you obviously what it looks like, and we'll go from there. So I've got my drives ready to go, just put those to one side. Again, thank you to Integral for sending those over. This is the Acasis 2.5 HDD or SSD. Obviously you can put hard drives in here if you've got like small laptop hard drives, if you want to take those out of a laptop and use those. This is a 4 bay, so plenty of storage. This can take up to 4 times 8 terabyte hard drives or SSDs, so that's what, 32 terabyte? 8, 16, yeah, 32 terabyte this can take. So plenty of storage if you've got it, or if you want to basically get yourself some of these, if you can find these SSDs cheap or anything like that anywhere. Obviously 2.5-inch SSDs these days are actually, in terms of comparing them to NVMe drives, they're actually quite expensive for what they are. They just haven't come down in price. I know a lot of people don't really use these anymore, but for this sort of application, they're absolutely fantastic. And obviously if you want to expand your storage, if you can get some deals on a good SSD, then you can obviously expand your storage massively. So let's have a look. The box is mainly in Chinese with little bits of English here, there and everywhere. So there's not really a lot to show you. Obviously you can see a picture of it on the side there, and on the back, on the side there. On the back it gives you sort of the RAID options. So we've got RAID 0, 1, 3, 5 and 10. And then it's got a transfer rate of 5 gigabits per second, so it should easily match SATA speed, SATA SSD speeds, and shouldn't be an issue. Other than that, it's made out of ABS plastic. Would be nice if they did like an aluminium version, because they do it in the smaller sort of enclosures, but obviously that would bring the price up massively. But it's not an issue. This does have an included fan as well, so it should be fine for cooling. And your dimensions are 105 by 105 by 160, so it's not a massive unit either. So it should sit nicely on anyone's desk. So let's get this unboxed. Quick look at the package that you get with it. So this is obviously going to be all your cables. You've got USB, is that USB-B, I think, to USB-A, I believe that's what it's called. You get a big power adapter. Luckily they've sent me the UK one. Obviously it comes in different flavours depending on where you live and where you order it from. So you get a power cable, and that is literally all you get with it. That's all you need. Instruction manual, again, is going to be all in Chinese, but we shouldn't need it for that. And then this is the unit itself. Move that box out of the way. So this is the unit itself. As you can see, nice sleek black, matte and sort of glossy as well. On the front here you've got basically indicators, power and fan control. So you've got your power button there. The indicators, I believe, indicates what bays are loaded. So you'll be able to see on there, and then you've got your fan to control your fan speed on there. Switching it around to the back, we've got a bit of exhaust on the bottom here, so obviously the fan blows from the top downwards and will exhaust the hot air out the bottom. I believe, unless it sucks it in, I think it blows it down. We'll have a look in a second. You've got your obviously USB, and then you've got your RAID settings here. So depending on what RAID you want, you choose your different dip switches there basically, and obviously then you've got your power in and what looks like an indicator light. And then also the thing I really like about this, it does get a lot of fingerprints. That's one thing I'll say. One of the main things I really like about it is completely toolless. You don't need any tools to be able to take your drives out, put them in, and change them over and anything like that. You literally just pop that off. It's magnetized, and you've got the fan there, which to me, I don't know if you can see that on the camera. To me, looks like it actually sucks air up through, because it looks like it's pushing out at the top, but we'll test that in a second. So like I say, magnetised on the top, nice strong magnet, and then you've got your 4 bays there. So you've got 1, 2, 3 and 4. Let's pop these in. Yeah, slide it in straight down, and it should sort of locate itself. It's got these sort of spring-loaded doors on here to hold them in place, and then the same again with that one. And that's where, there we go. 2 drives installed. Easy as that. Lid on, and we're ready to go. So we're going to get this connected up, and then we'll do some 3D, we'll do some crystal disk testing. We'll install 3D Mark onto one of these drives, run from that drive, and then we'll basically see and compare it to the local results as to whether it actually loses any performance. Shouldn't do, but let's test that out. Right, so we've got it set up. We're just using it in standard mode at the moment. For some reason I can't get the RAID mode set up. It just won't work at all. So that's a bit of a negative for this product at the moment. It's not that simple to set up. I put it in the desired settings that it says, and it's still not working. I don't know why. So I'm using it as 2 separate hard drives, basically 2 separate SSDs, 2 terabytes each. So we're just going to test on one of them and basically see what happens from there. Make sure I've got the right drive. G and K. Right, so we'll use drive G, and we'll just do an old test on that at 1 GB 5 passes and see what we get, and see if the speeds match up to what they should do. Technically I'm expecting up to about 500 megabytes. As you can see there, we're only getting 262. I have actually spoken to Acasis about this, and they said this is pretty normal, but to me seems really, really low. I don't understand. Maybe it would be different if I could get the RAID to work. I will maybe do a follow-up video if I can figure out how to get that to work, but at the moment it just won't work. So at the moment we're looking at 262 megabytes per second on the read, and we'll see what it says on the write in just a second. Right, so we've done the testing. I've changed answers to 1 pass because I just wanted to get it done quickly and see what the overall results is, and it didn't really change anything anyway. So the first one we've got 261 on the read, 247 on the write. Q1T1 we've got 248 and 239. Random we've got 18 and 33, and then random Q1T1 we've got 13 and 31. So I mean, they're not the speeds I was expecting. Obviously this drive can do up to like 550 megabytes per second. So this is like less than half, pretty much. So not the best, but we are going to basically go into a test now and see what it takes in terms of loading times to load games, so see if it affects your gaming at all, and then also we'll do benchmarks to see if it affects that, and obviously I'll compare that against the local, so we can see if it actually makes a difference, whether it's worth worrying about these speeds or whether it's just good to have sort of a 4-bay drive, so you can get a lot of extra storage without having to obviously wire it into your PC, and you obviously can move this around and put it on different PCs and stuff. So if you want to store like Steam libraries, photos, videos, all that kind of stuff, you can obviously do it with this. So let's get into that testing now and basically see what happens. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to load Tomb Raider up. We're going to set the stopwatch and basically time how long it takes to get into the benchmark, and we'll compare that with our local results and see what happens. So quickly start that, see what happens now. We're going in windowed mode. Let me just pull this over to one side. Hopefully you can see that. And we'll see how long it takes to get into the benchmark itself. It'll also be within a few seconds difference compared to obviously doing it before, depending on how I've clicked it, how fast I've got to click in it and stuff like that, but so far so good, to be fair. That's 35 seconds. So local was 27 seconds getting into that benchmark. Yeah, we're just going to let the benchmark run and we'll see basically if it affects the 1080p score as well. Previously when I did that on a NAS, I basically tested it at 1440 and ultra wide as well, to get it close to 4K, and it made no difference whatsoever. So I'm just going to do it at 1080. That's going to be the most demanding on the CPU, getting that data through, so that's probably going to be the best way to do it anyway. So we're just going to test it at 1080, and we'll get back to you at the end and we'll see basically what the score is. Right, so we've done the best benchmark on Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Hopefully you can see that there, and basically the score I got before was 233 average, and I used the CPU game low minimum there, and the score I got before was 197. This time I've got 277, so I've gone up a fair bit, and I've also got a low of 176, so the low is actually lower, but not a problem at all there. So as you can see, the difference between local and on this Bay 4-bay SSD enclosure, not a problem at all. So those speeds, although they are lower than what I would have liked to see, they're not affecting gaming. And this channel's basically based around gaming. Obviously, it might affect you moving files across a bit, but not massively, to be fair. And probably going to be enough, obviously, if you just want mass storage. Yeah, so at the moment that's actually looking really, really good. So the last test we're going to do is we're just going to do 3D Mark time spy. Again, we'll time it on how long it takes to get to the benchmark, and we'll then obviously see what the score is as well. So let's do that test now. Right, so we're set ready to go. Let's quickly get the stopwatch started and then launch, and then we'll see what happens, how long it takes me to get into this benchmark, and you'll see this real time, as it doesn't take that long, hopefully. So the last time we had, just to give you a heads up, was 122 seconds to get to the benchmark. Obviously it has to do this sort of gathering the system information and stuff like that. So 122 seconds, just over 2 minutes to get into the benchmark. Actually load directly into the benchmark rather than just to get here. We're going to see how long it takes to get to the benchmark itself. Let's go benchmarks and then time spy and then run. And then now we see how long it takes. So we're already at 35 seconds. So we'll see, we've got a little bit of time to play with here, another 40 seconds or so. Excuse the noise in the background, it's obviously my computer ramping up as it's loading stuff. The fan curve's a little bit aggressive, I need to sort it out. So now we're loading the benchmark, and as soon as it starts, I shall stop the clock. That started 1 minute 22. So done absolutely fine. I put 122 seconds last time. It must have been 122 because that seems miles over, if not. So yeah, 1 minute 22. So that's what, 82 seconds. I assume that's what I did last time. I could be wrong, but yeah, really good. Not a problem at all there. Loading really quickly. So what we'll do now is we'll run the benchmark and we'll see if it affects performance at all on this enclosure. Right, so we've run the time spy benchmark and we'll see what the score is. We've got 26,562 with a graphics score of 31068 and a CPU score of 14580. I should mention I'm using a 7900X CPU and a 7900X TX GPU, so obviously a high-end build. And the score we got before was a 25941, which is again lower, and shows that this running from this NAS, this hard drive enclosure is not hampering performance whatsoever, and I think that's enough tests to do to be able to prove that it's absolutely fine to run from this. Like I say, even though we're only getting like 260 megabytes per second, it's absolutely perfect for doing things like this. So I can recommend that. So let's go back up top, have a little talk about it, and we'll go from there. Right, so this little This little 4-bay SSD enclosure, 2.5-inch SSD enclosure, or HDD, but only 2.5-inch, from Acasis or Acasis. Apologies if I pronounced that wrong. Again, thank you to them for sending this over. Can I recommend this? Yeah, to be honest with you, yeah, I can. Especially for doing things like this. If you're looking at storing your game library on it and you want to move it between systems and things like that. Obviously for me, that it helps massively because I've got, obviously doing all this testing on different systems, to have it one local place that I can just plug in and use. It's absolutely fantastic to have. So yeah, in terms of doing this kind of thing, yes, if you move in a lot of files, yes, it's still going to be fine. To be fair, at 250 megabytes per second, obviously that's the max at the peak. So when you're doing large files, as soon as you do small files, everything drops down anyway. So not too bad at all, to be honest with you, and obviously going to be a lot better than using a mechanical hard drive. So for that, yeah, not a problem. Obviously downsides are you're not getting the full potential speeds out of it that I technically feel you should. You should hopefully be getting full SSD speeds because it's USB 3, and it does boast a 5 gigabits per second transfer rate, so I don't know what's happening there. I am going to speak to Acasis once again and basically see if I can sort of clarify what I'm doing wrong here, and if I do, then I may do like a short or something later or another video to basically bring this back in and show you that I've improved it, or managed to get better speeds out of it. But I'm going to have a play around with myself as well and see what I can do. So the downside obviously is that speed. I can't get any of the RAID versions to work. It's literally just reading everything as separate discs. Don't know why, it just won't let me do it. I've tried the manual says to push this button and reset it and blah blah blah, and it still just won't have it. Even though it's set in RAID 0 at the moment, it's still going up with 2 hard drives. And obviously I'm getting those lower speeds, so I don't know what's going off there. If anyone's got any ideas, please bang them in the comments below and let me know what I'm doing wrong. If you've got one of these, or if you've got something similar, then obviously give me a shout. So like I said, I've already mentioned the times, but I'll just go through them again. So load time to Shadow of the Tomb Raider was 35 seconds, which is up from 27 seconds on local. However, there was, last time I did it, the stopwatch on my phone, and literally started at the same time. This one I had to click it and then come across and click, so that's going to lose a second or two. So there is very marginal, 8 seconds difference anyways, which is nothing really. And then the other one was 1 minute 22 and 1 minute 22, bang on. However, I did write 122 seconds, so I don't know if I got that wrong or that was the initial start up last time. However, 1 minute 22 seconds is nothing again for starting this up and getting into that benchmark. So that's obviously completely loading the benchmark and the benchmark starting from the beginning. And in terms of FPS and scores, FPS was actually higher for some reason. I have thought, though, I have recently updated the graphics driver, so that could be giving me the extra performance, but still it's showing that this isn't hampering performance. And then the score on the 3D Mark Time Spy was 25,941 to 26,562, so about 600 points, not massive at all anyway, although it's higher on this again, but again that could be to do with the graphics driver. So all I'm saying basically is it doesn't hamper performance at all. So if you're looking at doing something like this and you're worried it's going to hamper your gaming performance, it isn't, not at all. No problems whatsoever. So that's it, guys. I can highly recommend this if you want a 4-bay SSD enclosure. That's obviously, if you've got, for me this is handy because I've got a few SSDs lying around. I don't want to keep moving between systems when I'm building new computers. It's a pain, so I normally leave them out, and obviously then I'm leaving storage that I'm not using. So it's nice to have this now. So if you've got the same sort of thing, you've got SSDs lying around that you can't fit in your system, or that you just haven't moved into your system and you can't be able to rewire them and stuff like that, get them all plugged back in, then you can obviously get something like this and save yourself a lot of headache and make everything easy. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. I have got another one coming from Acasis. I've got another just a dual bay one. I'll show you that another time, but that can also take 3.5 inch, but that'll be in another video. So I'll be doing that one as well, see how that performs in comparison to this one. So I will be showing that soon, so stay tuned for that. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it interesting, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, or you didn't like the video, give it a thumbs down, not a problem at all. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments section below, and I'll be happy to get back to you as soon as I can. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.